bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Bring 'em Out with your hosts, Joel Richardson and Alan Hill.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Sunnybrook Ballroom inside the Speakeasy for another episode of Bring 'em Out. I'm Alan Hill, here with SoulJoel himself, Joel Richardson. Tonight we have a very special guest, comedian Steve Rinaldi. Well, thanks for joining us, brother. One of my favorites that I've gotten to know at this place.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, dude, Steve Rinaldi. So him and I go back. He went to Chicago. I went to New York. We both have Philly roots. But it's funny. You brought the 7 to 7 brand. It's something you started at Helium, and it's grown, man. I'm really proud of what you're doing.
Well, that's what ended up happening with that was the 7 for 7. The reason that show even came about is because I knew a bunch of comics that only had like 8 to 10 minutes.
Oh.
And nobody could really break into the clubs. So I was like, how could we all get an opportunity? Yeah. And then the first club I pitched it to was the Funny Bone chain.
Okay.
Up in Albany. And then I pitched it to Helium, and now, you're using it, which thank you very much.
Yeah.
Got some other clubs that I'm talking to. I didn't think it was going to be something that clubs want, like as a high demand. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be known as the showcase guy, but it's different,
Yeah, well, a lot of people that came to the first one then came out again for the next one, and on a Thursday night, we had 125 people.
That's
That's
fun.
killer.
And
if you
there
get
wasn't
traction
a
on a
person
Thursday,
that-
you're doing something, man.
No one had a bad set, dude. The audience was straight fire.
Well, that's the other thing that's starting to happen. So we were talking right before we started tape. I've been doing comedy 10 years now. It feels like yesterday, but it's still new. But, now you're not fresh.
Right.
So it's like now...
It's a half a career.
Well, quarter of a career. You forget Dom Herrera is my friend.
Yeah, really, man.
So 10 years...
The bar is high.
10 years ain't nothing.
That's a cup of coffee.
Yeah, no, it ain't nothing.
That's a blink of an eye for Dom.
But what's happening is now a lot of these guys I started with that I'm giving spots on these shows so they get opportunities from clubs, they're more polished.
Right.
So now the show's becoming better and better. But I always put a couple new guys on, like you used a lot of your local talent, which is great. That's the whole thing. I like helping people, but I definitely put the pros at the back end of the show. It builds.
And still build like a pyramid.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very smart.
I didn't want to be a producer when I started stand-up.
Neither did I.
Sound familiar, buddy?
I screwed up a couple of these stories, and I'm like, this is why I got into producing. Steve, back to you.
No, but you're see, but you can do both. And now today, you kind of need multiple sources in comedy.
Seriously.
Yeah. Do you so? And Alan knows this. We've talked about this, but is there a different Steve when you're producing the show versus when you're just coming to a club to do a spot?
Performance-wise, or
No. I'm not talking. I'm not. Yes. Okay. Forget the show itself. I'm talking before the show. The show starts at 8. We're talking 7 to 8. Do you start getting tense around 7:30? Like.
No. I think those.
Because I'll tell you the answer. The answer is yes for me.
Definitely yes for
Yes,
there.
it's a yes for me because like if I know I got to go on and I'm also like running the show and people are pulling me in different directions, that's where and you said it can be done, but it gets tough to be like, what am I going to talk about? Am I going to be funny? And producing the show too.
Well, I think because I'm still. I mean, you are so much more busier than me.
But I wasn't saying it like that. I just meant.
Well, I'm still getting on stage 4 or 5 times a week.
Right. You're going.
I mean, before it was more than that.
You're hitting the gym.
Yeah. I'm still getting up.
Right.
As much as I can. But I'm not nearly. I feel like I'm sure you'll agree that the first 8 years it can't stop.
Right.
the first 8 years it can't stop. You got to get up like three. I was doing like 3 times a night, 4 times a night. They weren't the best quality shows, but
you're putting it in.
Yeah, now that I'm getting club spots, it's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still pop in the mics all the time. I want to be humble.
Right.
Love
They're
that.
terrible.
Love that.
Yeah.
know?
Well, yeah, you did it here, man, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
I
well-
appreciated it.
Well, you gotta. It never stops. It's just. I like the awkwardness. That's sick. You gotta sit there.
That's awesome, Dan.
I like awkward vibes. Like right now, this is fun to me. It's like
Good, because I was feeling awkward.
I like being around newer comics. I like seeing people develop, and I like witnessing growth.
That's cool,
and I love when someone like you, who gave me an opportunity. You were the second person that ever booked me.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Liz Rousseau, and then you.
Yeah.
So it's like when you come up to me after a show and you're like, dude, that was fucking great. Like, I'm loving the growth. That's a big moment.
Yeah.
Because I know you mean it.
Yeah.
If you're not talking to me, I'm a little fucking.
Right.
I got a lot of work
Where
to do.
is
Where'd
Joel?
that Joel get to?
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Yeah. That's got to happen sometimes on your end, where you see somebody, get an impression of them, and then they come back, and you're like, whew. Like, I don't own a club.
Right.
I always think how you guys, like, how you would think. Like, what's your approach with something like that?
Well, dude, I think sometimes you have to look at a perspective. Like, if you haven't seen someone in years, you're like, there can be growth. Or, like, just because you saw someone at an open mic doesn't mean 10 years later they're not a headliner. Or whatever. Like, and just look at it again with an open mind.
Will you give somebody a headlining opportunity because of how long they've been doing
Who
it?
sent you?
Who's after the gig, man? Who's after this gig?
Listen, there's a couple of questions I got to ask before I answer yours.
The reason I'm asking is because I kind of feel like there's got to be guys that hit you up because you started before me.
Yeah.
That just think
17 years. Yeah.
where they're like, I've been doing this 17 years. You're gonna, by now I have to be.
Yeah.
It's like, right? You get backed in a corner.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I always think it too. Like if the guys that are gonna be headline or are headliners, they'll just come up to me like, listen, put me up in a guest spot. I'll host. I'll feature. Those are the guys. I always say, dude, and this is a weird thing, and I'm not diming out Philadelphia because that's where I'm from. I love it here. But it's a different animal in Philly versus New York a lot of times. I noticed that there's guys in New York that have every right to like hit me up, and guys in Philadelphia are like, dude, I've come here, I've hit you up, I've texted you, I don't understand. And we're like, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
See, I have a different mindset about it.
Oh, let's hear it.
Like for
Out of sight, out of mind, like just to remind people.
I rather it's like I was saying again before we started taping, we were bullshitting a little bit.
Breaking balls.
Yes, I call that breaking balls. We were arguing about what ball breaking is, which I don't think it's a roast. I think it's catching up.
Yeah. No,
Everybody else thinks it's a roast.
Yeah, except for me.
Yeah, you're a man on an island, Steve.
Alan loves it.
I love it. I talk about it all the time.
He couldn't wait
I
to
get such a
talk
big
to you
kick
about
out of it.
Well, I guess that comes from my dad and my uncles. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
But
Family, you got to respect that.
yeah. But what I was saying is, it's odd because like my attitude is, I want a club where I'm continuing to grow.
Okay.
I don't want to show up and do the same 20 minutes, the same half hour. And the only way you're going to do that is if you occasionally get the MC, you occasionally get the showcase.
Right.
The club knows what you do when you do your polished material.
Right.
But you need a room. I truly believe this. You need a club or a room where you could work out new content. We bomb.
Right.
We try it out. We go back the next week. No, really. And some comics are divas about that after
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't want to bomb anymore.
That's not how comics are supposed to think.
Yeah, that's.
I don't. Maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe the circle that I'm around
Yeah.
gave me the wrong idea.
Dude, I remember
No, I
this
love
back
that.
in the day. Mike Gaffney, man, it was a real good friend, great comic. Dude, he talked about and I wouldn't dime anybody out, but I even forget who he was talking about. But he mentioned it on social media. He goes, just on their status, goes, I've never bombed, and he goes, never bombed. He goes, you're either not performing in the right places, you're not challenging yourself, like Steve just said, so you're not telling new jokes, or
you're
you
lying.
haven't been doing it long enough.
Yeah, right, there you go.
Because we have all eaten it.
It's impossible.
And
not to.
I actually told this to comics last night that we're doing the first open mic. I said, normally it's not the first time that you do it because then you would never do it again. It's normally the second time when you think you have to do new material all the time and go up there and you're like, whatever. But it was just a point I was making. But
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Bro, I had one Sunday. I needed it. Oh my God, I needed it so fucking
So you
bad.
skip dinner with the family?
No,
the South Philly
I
Italian.
had
You're
it.
like, let me go
No, I had
have some humble pie.
I had a 2-man show. At,
Oh, this was something you got paid for.
yeah, 2-man
boy,
show,
buddy.
and I didn't know there was. I went into it and I didn't know there was an MC, and I'm preparing to tape my half hour, so I had that goal.
You were the second half of a 2-man show.
No, I went up front.
Oh.
So when you do a 2-man, traditionally with nobody coming up and saying, "Hey guys, put your cell phone away,"
So you
got to do all that.
Right. So you
So
thought
I-
there was a 3-man. You thought it was a 3.
I thought
Okay.
an MC was going to come out.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
and then it was
okay.
just me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just
Now you're
I-
filling a whole other duties.
Well, I wanted to work
and-
that half hour so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And now you got other shit to deal with.
And I didn't get. I know where I slipped up. I didn't. I didn't say clap or are we celebrating that. You gotta get. You gotta.
Yeah. My name's Steve.
You have to do that. You can't just.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until like 7 minutes in. I was like, I missed a lot. Let's
Yeah.
start over. But by like minute 21, they were on. But that first 20 minutes, man, it was like, whew.
Yeah. Dude, I did that in Stone Harbor 2 Sundays ago.
Oh.
Where I went on stage, and I think it was because I'm so used to going up in my own place that, dude, 3 minutes in, a lady goes, "What's your name?"
Wow.
And I go, "Oh my goodness!" I go, first of all, I that was a rookie mistake. Like he just said, I wasn't even thinking about it. No one introduced me, and I took for granted that people know. Like it was an Aunt Mary Pat show, so I thought they knew I managed her.
Right,
they
right.
thought I knew it was my show. I was on the screen.
Right.
The SoulJoels. I had my SoulJoel shirt on, but 2 + 2 doesn't always equal
it
4.
just looks like you hit the merch table before
Yeah,
the show, man.
Exactly. and every
This guy
show
really,
after.
really supports the.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it's interesting. You're like these little. It's not rocket science, but if you skip those few steps, it's amazing how different the results can be.
Yeah, but where you're polished, where your experience comes in, is you recognize, hey, this is what I did wrong.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm not making excuses.
Right.
I deserve the response I got.
Right.
I knew right away. I'm like, oh my God, this is.
Yeah,
It's like, and then there was like that one. There was that one guy that wanted me to win,
Oh yeah.
and he's laughing at every punchline by himself.
yeah.
In this
I'm rooting for
in
you,
this-
buddy.
In this wide room, like ha ha, like every joke. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, you're
I'd rather you just
It's
shut
almost
up.
worse, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather me just talk, like nothing. Give me nothing.
yeah. Give me crickets.
Oh man.
But man, this
Are you
is-
ready for your half hour then, or did that send you off?
Well, I never did a taping before, so this whole opportunity kind of just fell in my lap because the headliner I knew from Chicago and doing some road spots with him, he requested me to middle, and then to maximize their production, they asked if I would want to make an attempt to tape my half.
Yeah.
And if it went well, they'll put me on Sirius. They'll chop up clips for reels. They'll put me
Beautiful,
on.
dude.
But if it don't go well, they're not investing any money. I can't lose here.
You're literally going in with house money.
But I'm calling a lot of these comics that I happen to know throughout the business that have been in these spots. Like I was talking to Brett Ernst about
I was just gonna say, shout out to Brett Ernst.
I was
That's awesome. Love Brett.
talk to Dom about it.
Yeah.
Talk to Eleanor. Talk to Simone. And I asked them questions because they've done things like this before, and it's just like, bottom line is just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm the funniest is when I have nothing to worry about. Where I
Okay.
know I'm not going to piss off the headliner. I'm not going to ruin my relationship with the club. When I know I'm not going to, fuck up the show, walk anybody. When I'm just going up there and doing me, this is just personally for me. But some people, like I suck in contests. I suck at them.
Oh, interesting.
Hate contests. Hate like showcasing for JF, like stuff like that. Hate those fucking things.
Dude, I always hated Battle of the Bands, which is a big thing in music.
Yeah.
It's funny.
See, some people like that.
Nah, I'm not built for that stuff either.
I want you to see me at a fucking VFW by accident.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy's remarkable. I'm up there with a pitcher of beer.
Yeah.
This guy, why haven't I seen him on TV?
Well, people got their luck. I've made a career out of it. Basements, VFWs, doesn't matter.
Commando comedy. At its
Every once in a
finest.
while, I was at a country club and felt really uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Boy.
You still do private events?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, when do you sleep?
Yeah, it's not often, man.
Yeah. Very rarely.
Same with you, man.
Well,
Do you feel like being a father makes it tougher, or like easier? You get material.
no. Well, I just started getting comfortable with taking breaks, like a month off, because I just been on cruise. This is my life, so it's like cruise control. But like I am gonna take probably maybe August or September off. Talked about it with my wife, because it just never. Every day I'm doing something. Every day, and then some days you just wake up, and you're just like, whew. Like I talk to you sometimes. You're like, not today, man, and I don't take it personal, but you need to shut it down, dude. You need to shut it down.
Oh, not today. Oh, yeah. And
You
I
have
know
that
you're-
one day a week.
I know what you're saying
See,
now.
me, I don't do it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have a one day off.
Oh.
Every day I'm either
just go.
writing, podcasting, or getting up.
And then my split personality texts you the next day. You're like, you want to do the podcast? You're like, dude.
No.
He went from not today, but how about tomorrow?
But Joel, the other thing is,
no, you can tell me. I'm very self-aware.
bro, it took a lot of maturity.
Oh boy, to handle this.
No, for me not to take that personal either.
Yeah.
And you probably run across a lot of comics, not just me, who probably take it personal at times. And I used to.
I may or may not know it either.
See, I used to take it personal.
I get less Facebook friends. I don't know why.
Less emails, less avails.
Some spots just opened up. I didn't know why.
No, but
The roster's falling a little short.
I used to be that fucking. Who the fuck does he think he's talking to? But now I'm like, how can you think about it?
Yeah.
There's days you're like, I didn't have lunch since Monday.
Oh,
It's like,
and I will get hangry. Dude, I snapped on my mom earlier, and I'm like,
The nicest woman in the
yeah.
world.
But she's used to what Steve just said. She's used to being the boss. So now she's helping me because she's helping me live my dream.
Yeah.
But she's not used to not. She used to run a real estate, company.
Right.
30 people.
Yep.
And so she's not used to. She just sees me as her son. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I want to do it my way. Like that Frank Sinatra. Like she loves that song for me.
Yeah.
But help me do that.
Take the intent of the why I do that.
Yeah. Well, I am leaving, and I'm like, no, I don't want you to leave.
Mothers, well,
Yeah,
that's
mother's love.
it's
Just
a
help.
beautiful thing, man, and it's also you gotta say this is what I am now. I'm a man. My mom stopped putting alternate career choices in my mail pile every time I picked up my mail at her house when I was 38 years old.
oh, so it's not only me.
Every time there would be some sort of adult education, furthering your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time, man, because guitar teacher, musician, man, not an easy path, but you know, I forged my way.
Did you? Because you're a South Philly Italian. Did you latch on to the Italians in Chicago? Did you feel more home there?
I didn't really. Well, I was new. I moved there 3 years in.
I was going to ask. Okay.
And I was only out there like 16 months, but I didn't perform well all the time. Like I was just new. I was just new at it. And the best thing that came out of that is that's one of the only markets where there's stand-up, aside from New York and L.A., 7 nights a week, killer headliner at Zanies or Laugh Factory, and I watched great comedy. Wow. I watched great comedy and occasionally got up, got a couple minutes. But I studied. And this ain't no disrespect to anybody that has stayed in Philly their whole career. Mm-hmm. That's what you get in New York, L.A., Chicago, or if a headliner brings you on the road, is you learn what you're watching greats.
Yeah.
You're not watching bad habits.
Right.
Like Brett Ernst, not to keep bringing him up, but I did
I did
a week with him 2 weeks ago, and like third show in, he goes, "Hey man, you're doing some things that you shouldn't be doing 10, 11 years in. Mm-hmm. Do you mind if I tell you?" I'm like, "Please."
I'm so glad you brought this up because I didn't want to because I didn't know.
No.
'Cause it was an off-camera conversation him and I had. But I don't want to be like, let's talk about it. Right. And by the way, I don't want Brett to see my set. Because you're also the one paying me, but Jesus, dude. What a couple of mistakes Joel's making. First of all, Soul Joel, that's got to go.
Did you say 17 years?
Yeah. So what happened? You're still friends, right?
Yeah. No. He gave me great advice that I wouldn't have got if I did Philly all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He said,
School of Hard Knocks.
No, your setups, your stuff's great, but you're doing your technique. You're readdressing setups. You're saying that's crazy, or you're asking a question that's irrelevant. Just because I don't know if you're totally comfortable with silence yet, or maybe you're just not conscious you're doing this, and these are habits that happen when you're doing shitty bar shows and VFWs. Right on. He's saying, unless you're working clubs or you're going up at the store or the factory or Zanies every night or New York Comedy Club, or you're not going to get that kind of education. And he was a 20-year LA guy, Stewart passed Stewart by Mincy. So
that's a beast.
Look at that. Yeah. Look at that knowledge I got from him. I'm like, fuck you. And it helped. He said, start training yourself to just stop, get used to silence, not say anything. He's like, and watch all the improv. You'll start peppering jokes. Dude, I've gotten like 5 new bits since he gave me that advice. I'm just shutting up, and I'm just like, and something else is coming to me, and
that's so cool.
And I'm starting to build more tags and punch. It's crazy off of that one because I'm not uncomfortable.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's just I'm so used to and I'm not. None of us are Robin Williams. We want to be
Steve Rinaldi, everyone.
We want to be.
This has been fun. No, that's so true. That happened to me. I think whenever I had to do a show for Narcotics Anonymous.
Oh.
And you have to go into a place and it's coffee or water. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't able to have that pre-show drink and have a couple of them because I thought it was calming my nerves. But you said you're thinking. Now you're thinking clear. You're thinking 2 or 3 jokes ahead. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? I'm not all hopped up on Red Bull.
Did you guys ready to start the show?
Wow. What a lot of energy this guy's got.
I'm so sorry. I'm uncomfortable with your couch.
Dude,
am
I the only one?
No.
No. It's not
because
you.
I want to go back.
I think
we had Chris Roach and Dennis Rooney, who are about
they're big guys.
20. Even those guys, but they were still struggling a little bit. So it's you remember Lily Tomlin in the chair?
Dude, I feel like this couch adds 50 pounds.
Yeah. Me being beside you will take off 20.
I want to sit like this, but it's like, you get my feet? Or no, it's from the... when you lift them up.
Yeah. Okay. Steve's in the booster seat.
What We'll work this issue out.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I'm open to constructive criticism. I could give you some, I hope.
Absolutely.
By the way,
man.
we love the barrels, hate the couches. Got it.
Oh man.
So what else did Brett say, or was that it? I mean, that was a lot.
No, I just focus more on technique. I'm funny, but which is great advice, I think. It's helped. It's what you do with it. you
Yeah.
know? Now, there's some comics, they get sensitive if you say shit like that. I loved it.
Do you find yourself now with doing the 7 for 7 show, trying to give advice, or find yourself, or do people ask you for advice? Because now to that, like you're a vet now. You've been doing it 10 years.
I still consider myself new, just because the comics that I think are legit, the real deal, are 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from guys that are hitting hard now,
Sure.
really early.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, not really, man. I love emceeing. If you said, "What's your dream job in comedy?" I'd say a career host, but you're not going to make any fucking money. I always said I wanted to be a showcase comic that did commercial work and movies, but the game has changed so much that like now you have to kind of build a brand, podcasting as a content creator, whatever the
Right.
case may be,
Yep.
and then you work the road as a headliner. I didn't get into it to do an hour, but
Right.
it's happening. I'm constantly developing new jokes and stuff. I rather host because I'm naturally a talker. I'm comfortable with crowd work. I'm comfortable with missing. So, and I could
Same.
no, really. And not a lot of people like
It's a skill.
MCing.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are good MCs, but they're great features and headliners.
Right.
That's absolutely
I
correct.
like to
Right.
host because I want to get better. I
Right.
want to build new acts. I want to try new shit. I like hosting.
Right.
I'll take a cut in the pay. Not a lot of comics do that.
Yeah.
They're fucking. I don't host no more. I've been doing this. Blah blah blah. But I don't want to be labeled as that guy forever.
Sure.
But I want to grow. How you gonna grow? You got to keep getting quality stage time.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for what you've built out here. Like talking about Landon and shit. Like me and my wife move out here, and then I hit you up. I'm like, yo, I'm living 25 minutes away. I mean, I'm going up to New York a lot.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, this is kind of becoming my home club.
That's so cool.
It's so weird.
My man.
No, but it's crazy how shit goes full
Full
circle.
circle,
Like
yeah.
you gave me my first spot a year in, no, my second spot
Yeah.
a year in at Valley Forge Casino,
Oh boy.
Okay.
and that was one of my first paid gigs. And
Yeah.
it
Wow.
was me, Tom Cassidy Middled, and Angel
Salazar.
Angel
Salazar
Salazar
was the headline.
No way, with the jean shorts and the boombox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel gave me my second paid spot.
Wow.
And I never forgot that.
That's so cool.
That is
and now,
cool,
and
man.
now I'm, now you're this thing that you're building out here, man. It's like, it's incredible.
Trying, man. Well, you saw it from the beginning too. Like it wasn't. I was like, in the beginning, trying to let people know that I wasn't just outside and was trying to build it inside. But I knew it was going to happen. It just took 6 months.
Well, that and every comedy club now does what you're doing. They have a bingo night. They have a dance. You have to now
Yeah.
to compete.
Yeah.
But you kind of did that before
Oh,
the
yeah,
comedy
yeah.
clubs were doing it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
recognized that you have to.
Yeah, he
you
was
gotta
on
kind of become
head of the curve
like
there,
a
yeah.
speakeasy.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is.
Variety club almost. Like
Yeah. Multifaceted facility.
Yeah. Bingo. Dude, that's a bunch of
A lot
wild.
of syllables.
And the live podcasts, you were
Yeah.
one of the first places that started doing that.
Yeah. And
Now
then-
the clubs are on that.
yeah, the comics love it, and the crowds love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they get awkward? 'Cause
The
they're
live podcast, you mean?
Well,
or-
they're stand-up crowds, right?
Well, it's interesting because you know who kills it is Skanks. Legion of Skanks and Tuesdays with Stories absolutely kill their live
Yeah.
performances. Yeah, absolutely kill
Well,
them.
and the weird part about that, and I'm not talking about either of those shows, but one of the shows, because people will buy tickets just to go, because it's one of my shows. They just have trusted my brand. Now, I don't know what happened, but there was a stand-up show, and then afterwards was a podcast, and these three ladies end up leaving. Two of them were married to each other, and they were like, "This is ridiculous." And I go, "Well, can I ask you a question? Did you know? Like, did you listen to the podcast beforehand?" And one of them said, "Oh yeah. So I'm like, "Well, he's being true to his brand.
Yeah.
So how could you not?" And I don't know. I just think the other two weren't familiar, so that that's kind of makes it tough if they all come out and be like.
It's a different audience.
Yeah,
It is.
different
It's
audience.
a very different audience. Yeah, man.
So that's the only way it gets weird.
Yeah. I always think about I've never been to one. I've never been to a live podcast.
well, it's
But
fascinating.
I'm a stand-up fan.
Yeah.
I like listening to podcasts on the radio. I like watching them on YouTube, but as a live audience, you really got to be into them.
Well, so like Tuesday's a Story, like Mark Norman and Joe List. If those two could do it by themselves anyway, but they'll roll in with Ari Shaffir and like two other dudes. You know?
Yeah,
what
but
I
I'm
mean?
curious if you got to feel the pressure to be funny.
How do you mean?
Like for a live audience, do you have to be hitting them with the punchlines or?
I feel pressure, and there's only one dude. So I would imagine the answer. It's a yes for
Well,
me.
if that's the case, we are bombing. Because there hasn't been a lot. I didn't know we had to be hitting the punch. It got serious a couple times.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, let's go ahead and do a mic check real quick.
What
I'm
the
not
fuck?
sure if
Let's
Jesse
start
can hear
now.
us.
Let's start it over. Do the intro. I had no idea. That's what we're doing? Oh, I'm bombing.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry. No more 7 for 7s here. Oh, my God. I got excited. Oh.
so one of the questions we like to ask our guests is, so it's called Bring 'Em Out, and it started by Jesse saying like, this, I bring people out, whether it's comics or the audience, and make an event. It's hard to get people to leave their couches now, no pun intended. What after 10 years, what still brings you out?
Shit. I always wanted to be a comedian, but I was so close-minded as a young kid growing up in the city. Nobody was artistic. And then my best friend...
Artistic? Autistic.
Artistic.
Because welcome to the world of comedy.
Yes. Yeah.
Find all the
And my buddy died,
Oh.
and he died of cancer.
shit.
And that motivated me, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be addicted to comedy my whole life." My buddy died of cancer at like
Jeez.
20.
Wow.
So like after that, it's just been a constant.
Drop
Like
those
engine.
fucking those walls
You know,
and go to the thing you
Yeah.
love.
I had some doubts about coming back after COVID
Oh, interesting.
because it got so friggin' scary. It's like, if that's your life and then it's gone, it's like, bro, a lot of people didn't bounce back from it.
No.
You're a rare
Right.
exception.
I was just too
Your life went like this.
Yeah, and then but yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to, because I had just opened the club right beforehand, and I was like, I can't let that.
God bless you, dude.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
God bless you. You had to have a moment where you were scared to shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it was my dad called me up and was like, "You're gonna get shut down." And it was the Sunday after I was just open 5 days a week for the first time, and I was like, I just had my first employee, Joey St. John the Saint, and I'm like, no shows, no dough. So I was like, he goes, we'll start saving because it's about to happen. I'm like, saving? Dude, I'm just paying bills here. I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck, but I was just starting to squirrel away money.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Well, dude, how many? I love to bring this up. I mean, how many artists he put on stage for the first time after COVID? I'm one of them. My band didn't have a gig we stopped in. I think our last show was in January of 2020, and the next time we performed was on his stage in Royersford, opening up for Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
So when did you realize? Oh my God, I got the biggest, one of the biggest things in the country right now. When did it hit you?
So
When did it hit?
Great
Did
question,
somebody say it to you, or you're like, this is fucking crazy?
So it happened when it was the day after Big J gets pulled off. Okay, gets pulled off stage.
It went viral.
It went viral. I knew. Well, that night, Ari Shaffir posted the video, and then Bert Kreischer reshared it and goes, "Comedy's back, baby." And I'm like, "Oh my!" Like all these guys that
Your
I look
backdrop?
up to, just Big J getting pulled off, and yeah, my backdrop, right? Exactly, all that. And the next day, Shuli Egar, writer producer for Stern, who I manage, his wife texted me, goes, "Dude, you're on the front page of Page 6." And I lived in New York for 15 years, and I go,
Wow,
dude,
man.
I thought that guy that called me, I thought the whole thing was a joke. I didn't think, because it said Bermuda, and he had a British accent. So I'm like, this is outlandish. So I started saying the most outlandish things.
Shit, I didn't know this.
Yeah. So he literally goes, well, what do you? And I said, well, in the guy's defense, he was just trying to defend his sister's honor. But if you would have met her, there was not much honor to defend.
Totally appropriate too.
Dude, my friends from college were taking screenshots and sending it in text message group text. They're like, this might be the greatest quote I've ever seen. Yeah, but the moment was the next day when I was booking Brewer for the first time, and I talked to his agent, and he goes, all right, this is the money, this is the date. By the way, what the heck happened at your place last night? I go, oh my God. I go, everybody knows about it. And he was like, yeah, so are we taking any security measures? Like, are we going to have to worry about this? And I go, this is much bigger than I ever thought. Yeah, that was probably the moment.
That's super cool. Wow.
Who was did you book your favorite comic during that stretch?
So, man, I didn't, well, I mean, Attell and Louis, two of the guys I love watching work. I didn't actually book Louis. He always came with lists.
Joe
But,
List and Friends became
Joe and List
secret
and
code to
Friends.
those in the know.
Yeah. But going to the Cellar all the time, and that was my first comedy club that I ever went to, watching a guy like Attell and so many other people look up to Attell, to have him at my place, and then he's talking. He's like, so how you been, man? And I go, oh, get out of here. And he's texting me. I'm like, dude, it's wild.
I was on a show.
Oh, and you know how all these comics have different things, and I'm sure all the guys that you mentioned have their own thing. So he shows up with candy, which I guess Attell's now known for, and he just takes one look at me and goes, Joel, this is for the staff, and make sure they know it's from me. Because I give him off the feeling that I'm about to eat all the candy.
And that was also when he started busting out the recorder. Do you remember? I don't know if he's still doing this, but do you ever see Attell bust out the recorder you learned in elementary school? It's like a flute.
Really?
Jessica Curson was there 2 weeks prior, and I'm talking to her after the show, and she's like, I can tell you're a big comedy fan. You'll appreciate this. Dave's doing something new. I assume you're going to see him. Yes. Right? Let me know what you think of this new thing. He busts out the recorder. He starts playing Hot Cross Buns after firing off one-liners. It was priceless.
Wow.
Priceless.
You were 5 nights a week.
Yeah. Yep.
More?
Yeah.
Dude, you were doing almost every day at one point.
Well, that festival I did 16 straight days.
Yeah.
Weren't you doing 6, 9, 6, 9?
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing. Was I crazy? It was like a Nikki Glazer. Was that like a 6?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you had somebody at 9 o'clock.
It was her 6 and 9, and that's another point where I made it. Might as well tell the story now. But dude, it's what's his name came to the show. Big Philly legend. Gosh. Oh my gosh. He just
Philly
retired.
legends.
He just retired from Sports Talk Radio.
Angelo,
Cattell.
yeah.
Not Angelo, but
Howard Eskin.
no. Yeah.
No,
Mike
not,
Missinelli.
Mike Missinelli.
No. What am I? Angelo Cataldi.
No, all right. Well, that's your legend, but it was Mike Missinelli.
Okay.
Okay.
Missinelli retired?
He retired. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But he was friends with Nikki Glazer and had her on and then came, and I look over and I'm like, I saw when I lived in New York, he co-hosted on ESPN radio with Stephen A. Smith. So when I see him standing there, I go, oh, I can't believe Missinelli's coming, because he called me directly and he was like they don't realize the club line goes to my cell phone. And I don't realize, I said Bala Kinwood. I didn't realize it was him. And he goes, hey, it's Mike Missinelli. I don't, if I go, I just need 2 tickets. I go, I'll put you on my guest list. He goes, I don't want to go crazy. I go, well, Mike, I'm Joel, so I can make it happen. So when he comes, I didn't realize he had never met Nikki Glazer. But they've been on each other's shows or whatever. And I bring him into the green room, and he thanked me over and over again. And I bring him out to the show. He talks about me Monday on his show that I brought him in Goodfellas style. So friends of mine from high school were like telling my security guard, going, dude, is Joel big time now? I go, dude, this was like 3 months into me booking those big names. I go, yeah. I go, I don't want to, but it's like, yeah, I'm getting guys. It's not open mic comic anymore, But that was the point where I was like, dude, this is really cool.
So it's an immediate high, and then it kind of declines a little bit when the clubs come back.
No, it declined when they developed townhouses and they didn't renew my lease. And our last show was Gilbert Gottfried, not knowing he was about to pass, and
The
not
legend.
knowing that was our last show. Yeah, but we were at a golf course for 7 months and just trying to figure out this. So
Yeah.
that was the ebbs and flows.
And what you're doing well with this, I don't know if you're going to keep this in or not, but this is just us. This is my observation.
Well, I always say we'll edit this and post. And we never do.
It always stays in.
A lot of people didn't know what you were trying to do here, but now that you're using social media, you're putting the photos up. You're being very smart of exposing that it's an indoor club, and the dome's still there in the summer. We're gonna do that,
That was the hardest thing,
bro.
to
You're
get
making
across.
them realize, and then look what happened with Vic.
Yeah,
Look what happened with
those videos.
with-
I didn't know you
with
were making
Brewer.
that video.
What's that?
You were filming him the whole time.
Yeah.
I figured it out afterwards, and you guys even had dinner beforehand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Vic's
were
the man.
that talk about going viral. Dude, people went nuts with that video, and he made it after he went home and did the whole thing. But you're videotaping him.
Yeah, dude.
People were like going crazy in line, and he's mispronouncing his own name.
Oh, it's so good. So good. That
but
was
what
such a
did
great
that
video,
feel like
man.
going in front of 700 people?
Well, I did it before, like with Dom.
Yeah.
And but that was, you want to go up.
Yeah.
I
Right.
I wasn't supposed to go
No
up.
kid.
that
Oh, I
night.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So I hit up Joel a couple days before. I'm like, yo, I'm hanging out with Vic. We're gonna grab dinner because we're friends. But he already had an opener, and he was like, I don't know if that would probably be a question for the manager or the headliner. And then we're out to dinner, and I had another show at 10 o'clock.
Right.
He had his show, your show at what, 7, 8?
Yeah. 7.
And he goes, no, you're coming up and you're going to do time. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, that's awesome.
So I texted you. I'm like, yo, Vic just gave me a guess.
And yeah, and
You're running all over. You're trying to park cars. You got 1,000 people. You're like, what the fuck is this? And then-
not entirely accurate, but not entirely wrong.
Checking people in, serving drinks,
You're thinking
seating people,
all of a sudden,
parking people.
wait, all of a sudden I become that new comic that's breaking his balls. He's like, what the fuck is he doing?
You used it right.
Yes.
Oh, it's funny.
And you know what's funny about Vic? Vic loved having him on the show, but then Vic doesn't take it out of his time. He still goes, like, he still gives people, like, somebody like, hey, all right, so we're going to have an hour and a half show. The opener's going to do what he does. Then I'll have a guest spot. I'll do 45 instead of doing an hour.
Right.
He still does like an hour and 10 minutes.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, that's what I love about him, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Given opportunities.
he's very old school.
Yeah.
And figured it out in the new school to get a bump
Man.
on an already great career.
He is a class act.
That's so cool, man.
Class act, old school Italian.
Yeah.
He loves you. He'll put a word in for you. Like, I didn't expect that night.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Yeah.
So you're saying how to feel to be in front of 1,000 people. It was unexpected.
Yeah.
But I was on stage here 2 nights before.
Right.
Or the night before with Tammy.
3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
It was the 7 for 7, Tammy, Vic.
So I kind of fell in love with
You had 3 different outfits, too.
That's rare for some comics.
Could have sworn, is that Steve Rinaldi? I don't know.
Yeah,
He's not wearing the Irish hat. He's wearing.
It's right there, by the way.
I know. You're,
I look like I'm delivering papers.
Newsy.
I am so becoming that old man Guido that I never wanted to be. But it's I don't know why I would think that type of hat is fashionable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, you're the guy in the back. You're like, want to go up that? Well, I might as well. I didn't get all dressed up for nothing.
Oh, man. Like I said to you, by the way, we should try to do a comedy
Weight loss contest?
SoulJoel.
I mean, when I'm feeling fat on my couch, not the best time to bring it up, but okay.
Well, I put on a lot of weight from getting married, and
Yeah.
it's a good motivator. But my wife, when I brought up that I pitched that idea to you, she was like, you're an idiot. You're burning money. You're definitely going to lose, because her argument is, if I'm not, we named some people that would be on it. I'm not going to mention anybody. But we mentioned some people. And my wife said to me, unless you're the fattest guy on there,
Yeah.
you have no shot.
What?
I didn't know that with weight loss competitions.
Well, you got to do it. You got to do it that show style and do a percentage of your original weight. Not,
You've done them
not
before?
The actual amount. No, but I've watched them.
Okay. well, you know, famously comedians did it, like Segura, Shafi Ari, a bunch of comics did it, and it went viral. Bert,
Right. Oh, well, they do that workout challenge thing.
and they all lost. I think it was weight loss or it was alcohol or something.
Well, they do that
Sober October.
Sober October.
Yeah.
The one year they made it a fitness challenge. Rogan stayed on the treadmill so long he set off his home's fire alarm. That guy's a beast.
But that's what I'm saying. As a motivator, we could use the content. I was trying to pitch it to him. I'm always pitching something.
No, I'm in. But I will tell you, we got to start it soon, because I was feeling so fat this afternoon that I literally ran my own stairs.
Oh, wow.
I just disappeared for a half hour. Yeah.
But you moved.
So you're like,
You moved.
I moved.
I did the fattest thing you could possibly do today. I pumped my gas at Wawa.
Yeah.
And my panini was in that cardboard box. And as I was so hungry, as I'm pumping my gas, I'm eating the panini out of the box with unwashed hands. People are looking at me. I told the guy to go fuck himself. Like, what are you looking at? It's that pepperoni. It's dripping.
With your Irish hat on?
With the hat.
Probably searing your tongue and
And then I realized he didn't have Philly plates, so he was like, "What the fuck did he do here?" I represented Philadelphia in that
right,
moment.
totally, man, totally. Oh, that's beautiful.
What a dirtbag.
In the box while my gas is pumped. I'm a disgrace. What the fuck? We got to do this competition.
Dude, I'm down.
We got to do it.
Because I if I stick to something like that and I make it public, that's why I post so much too. And I'm like, I said it out loud. I got to
We
do
got
it
to
now.
do a
Yeah,
weigh-in,
Yeah.
and be smart about it. Use all the content.
What, we going topless?
Dude, I got tits, man.
Ooh, that's a tough ask.
Before and after.
I don't
Nice.
know. You might have just pushed me out of the contract.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
pitched it.
Whew.
We could start it now, and then the finale could be the next 7 for 7. Or is that too soon?
When's the next 7 for 7?
May 25th, right?
Oh, that's reasonable.
Plugs
yeah.
are us.
Thursday, May
Yeah.
25th. We could start.
Or you
it.
want to do the whole summer?
I was thinking April, first week of April,
Yeah, yeah.
but we got to get some guys. We got to build this pot.
Yeah.
We don't need to say if we're playing for money on tape, but I think we will. Put
There
a
might be
little
something involved.
A couple donations where there's a prize pool.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I
Yeah,
think
that's a South Philly in you.
you know,
Yeah.
it has to be
Plus-
something.
Plus the VIG.
Yep. Nice.
But yeah, we should do a weigh-in. I don't know. I get motivated like with shit like
Yeah,
that.
you do. Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I've had way too much cake lately.
Dude.
And
You're,
I'm not, that's not,
you're a
that's,
sugar guy.
dude.
God, I've been out
sugar
of work for a year. I've just been finally in the last couple months I got out of this thing of just going home, smoking weed and eating.
See, that's me. I'm a night guy.
Yeah. I'm fine.
I fast all day.
When I'm in public, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I look like I eat normal.
Dude, at night, like if
Directly to
The
sleep.
freak comes out at night, man, for sure.
when I'm at a comedy club, I'm good there. But when I get home to my wife. She starts cutting cheese. She pours a glass of wine. She goes up to bed, and then I'm in the fridge eating the mortadella and like eating the lunch. She's like, "What are you doing down there?" I was unpacking the kids' lunch. Go to bed. I'm eating all the lunch meat.
And I'm single, so I got nobody curbing me at all, man.
Yeah, anything in that fridge, you put it in there.
Dude, it's there, and it's there because it tastes good. Right. It's not there for any other reason.
Yeah. There's no surprises. You know what's in there, but you still open it going, what should I have?
Yeah. Which surprise?
Sugar's bad. You got to stop that shit.
Oh, it's brutal for you,
Diabetes
man.
coming, buddy.
Yep.
Sugar's the worst.
It
dude.
is. It's brutal.
Sugar and bread.
Yep.
If you could wipe them two out, you're good.
Dude, I ate a whole pizza and 2 pints of two separate things of Ben and Jerry's in one night.
No way.
And my feet.
No way.
It was like a football Sunday. I started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with the pizza.
Oh.
You know, I finished the pizza by like 8 o'clock at night. Moved on to the ice cream. My feet were tingling. I'm telling you, dude. I'm surprised I didn't.
It's a great country, America.
I've watched my sister because I'll eat a whole pint. Mm-hmm. No
problem.
But then I'll watch my sister also got a pint and then be like, good, and then put it away, save it for later. I'm like, there is no saving it for later.
This is why America, we don't realize how good we have it.
Oh, dude.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You're talking about that being a problem?
Right. Our problem is we can't control ourselves from eating too much. Not that we can't.
Think about how selfish that is.
I know, for real, brother.
That's a problem.
For real.
I hope I don't go home tonight and eat this delicious dessert. Think about how fucking spiteful that is.
It's America, baby. God bless the USA.
I'm saying let's be healthy for money.
All right.
Yeah. I'm down.
We're doing it.
I'm in, brother. I'm in.
For Steve Rinaldi, Alan Hill, this is Soul Joel. Bring them out. Thank you so much.